I wonder, Bill, if you think the Good Morning America interview, for example, was too soft on him. I mean,
clearly,
even by the time he sat down with Robin Roberts, there were a lot of doubts about his story.
Absolutely, and she had to press that, and she didn't really do it. Interestingly, he's a celebrity besides being a victim. He's an actor, and that was a celebrity interview, more than a news person interview. And that's the way it felt like to me. Instead of getting to the facts, it was much more about him and his, the effects on him and things like that, instead of saying, what really happened? It was not actually a news interview. So he didn't do a news interview. The media was not able to really question him closely about this. And when they did it, his story started to fall apart because it was full of red flags.
It also contributed to this sense among Trump supporters that there is this campaign against them, and that there is this, we can see it in Donald Trump Jr.'s tweets. I think we can put up some of his tweets from the past 12 hours. Look, Donald Trump Jr. is a hammer, so everything he sees is a nail, and everything he sees is about attacking the media. So he'll attack the media no matter what. But he's attacking the media today because he says that the press fell for this. And I just wonder how much of that we should acknowledge.
Well, at a minimum, there were people who, I've talked to people off camera, I've talked to people sort of in green rooms who were skeptical, who had questions about this story, were afraid to raise those concerns because of the intersectional nature of this particular accusation. And there are plenty of circumstances like that. And that is something that we have to be aware of. When there are stories that involve very sensitive issues of race and sexuality, and there are accusations and allegations that are being made, when you raise questions about those allegations, it is often the case that people will raise questions about your motivations. Look, I am talking about these stories. I'm talking about the merit of a particular charge. And at the end of the day, it's whether or not that charge has merit that matters. And Robin Robbins, in that conversation, in that interview, had an opportunity to say, you know, just there are practical reasons for someone to ask questions about something like this that have nothing to do with your race or your sexuality. She didn't do that, and there are far too many instances where serious journalists aren't doing that.
That's true.
And now Democratic politicians who came out and said this was a modern-day lynching are going to have to be held to account.
They jumped way too early on this, and there's where the real fault lies, I think. You can't use your ideology and impose it on a story like this. You're going to get burned. Maybe you won't always get burned, but it's a tremendous risk.
As of a couple days ago, Fox, the studio that makes Empire and the network that broadcasts Empire, was standing by Smollett, saying that he has the network's support. As of this morning, no new comment from Fox. They've gone silent on this. Liz, last word to you on what is, I mean, at its heart, it's a very sad case.
Yeah,
no matter what. If he lied, it's sad. If it happened, it's sad.
Absolutely. I think it's important to cover this story. I also think it's important to cover the other several stories of hate crimes. Not to say that this was a story of a hate crime, but that there are real hate crimes that happen in this country, and there's an increase in them against black people, against LGBTQ people, against Muslims. And the fact that one robbery was fake does not mean that robbery is not a problem. The fact that there is one false rape accusation does not mean that there's no rape. We have to cover these issues as trends and as patterns and not fall into the trap that because one story is not real, that the problem is not real.
Or maybe not give the celebrities all the attention.